Reading from the Holy Bible, the New American Bible, Numbers, chapter 31. Extermination of the Midianites. The Lord said to Moshe, "Avenge the Israelites on the Midianites, and then you shall be taken to your people." So Moshe told the people, "Select men from your midst and arm them for war to attack the Midianites and execute the Lord's vengeance on them. From each of the tribes of Israel you shall send a band of 1,000 men to war. From the clans of Israel, therefore, 1,000 men of each tribe were levied, so that there were 12,000 men armed for war. Moshe sent them out on the campaign, 1,000 from each tribe, with Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest for the campaign, who had with him the sacred vessels and the trumpets for sounding the alarm. They waged war against the Midianites, as the Lord had commanded Moshe, and killed every male among them. Besides those slain in battle, they killed the 5 Midianite kings, Avi, Recham, Zur, Hur, and Reba, and they also executed Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. But the Israelites kept the women of the Midianites with their little ones as captives, and all their herds and flocks and wealth as spoil, while they set on fire all the towns where they had settled and all their encampments. Then they took all the booty with the people and beasts they had captured, and brought the captives together with the spoils and booty to Moshe and the priest Eleazar, and to the Israelites community at their camp on the plains of Moab along the Jericho stretch of the Jordan. Treatment of the captives. When Moshe and the priest Eleazar and all the princes of the community went outside the camp to meet them, Moshe became angry with the officers of the army, the clan and company commanders, who were returning from combat. "So you have spared all the women?" he exclaimed. "Why, they are the very ones who, on Balaam's advice, prompted the unfaithfulness of the Israelites toward the Lord in the Peor affair, which began the slaughter of the Lord's community. Slay therefore every male child and every woman who has had intercourse with a man, but you may spare and keep for yourselves all girls who had no intercourse with a man." Purification after combat. "Moreover, you shall stay outside the camp for 7 days, and those of you who have slain anyone or touched anyone slain in battle shall purify yourselves on the 3rd and on the 7th day. This applies both to you and to your captives. You shall also purify every article of cloth, leather, goat's hair, or wood." Eleazar the priest told the soldiers who had returned from combat, "This is what the law as prescribed by the Lord to Moshe ordains. Whatever can stand fire, such as gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, and lead, you shall put into the fire, that it may become clean. However, it must also be purified with lustral water. But whatever cannot stand fire, you shall put into the water. On the 7th day you shall wash your clothes, and then you will again be clean. After that you may enter the camp." Division of the booty. The Lord said to Moshe, with the help of the priest Eleazar and of the heads of the ancestral houses, "Count up all the human captives and the beasts that have been taken, Then divide them evenly, giving half to those who took part in the war by going out to combat, and half to the rest of the community. You shall levy a tax for the Lord on the warriors who went out to combat. 1 out of every 500 persons, oxen, asses, and sheep, in their half of the spoil you shall turn over to the priest Eleazar as a contribution to the Lord. From the Israelites half you shall take out, 1 out of every 50 persons, and the same from the different beasts, oxen, asses, and sheep, and give them to the Levites who have charge of the Lord's dwelling. So Moshe and the priest Eleazar did this, as the Lord had commanded Moshe. Amount of booty. This booty, what was left of the loot which the soldiers had taken, amounted to 675,000 sheep, 72,000 oxen, 71,000 asses, and 32,000 girls who were still virgins. The half that fell to those who had gone out to combat was 337,500 sheep, of which 675 fell as tax to the Lord. 36,000 oxen, of which 72 fell as tax to the Lord. 30,500 asses, of which 71 fell as tax to the Lord. And 16,000 persons, of whom 32 fell as tax to the Lord. The taxes contributed to the Lord Moshe gave to the priest Eleazar as the Lord had commanded him. The half for the other Israelites, which fell to the community when Moshe had taken it from the soldiers, was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 oxen, 30,500 asses, and 16,000 persons. From this, the Israelites' share, Moshe, as the Lord had ordered, took 1 out of every 50, both of persons and of beasts, and gave them to the Levites, who had charge of the Lord's dwelling. Gifts of the officers. Then the officers who had been clan and company commanders of the army came up to Moshe and said to him, "Your servants have counted up the soldiers under our command, and not one is missing. So to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord, each of us will bring as an offering to the Lord some gold article he has picked up, such as an anklet, a bracelet, a ring, an earring, or a necklace." Moshe and the priest Eleazar accepted this gold from them, all of it in well-wrought articles. The gold that they gave as a contribution to the Lord amounted in all to 16,750 shekels. This was from the clan and company commanders. What the common soldiers had looted, each one kept for himself. Moshe then and the priest Eleazar accepted the gold from the clan and company commanders and put it in the meeting tent as a memorial for the Israelites before the Lord. Chapter 31, verse 1 has a note. The narrative Israel's relations with Midian, which was interrupted after Numbers 25:18, is now resumed. 31:8. The 5 Midianite kings, they are called Midianite princes, Shihon's vassals, in Joshua 13:21. Chapter 31:17. There are later references to Midian in Judges 6 through 8, 1 Kings 11:18, and Isaiah 66. The present raid was only against those Midianites who were dwelling at this time near the encampment of the Israelites. 31:23. Lustral water mixed with the ashes of the red heifer as prescribed in Numbers 19:9. Chapter 31, verse 27 note says, divide them evenly. For a similar division of the booty into 2 equal parts between those who engaged in the fray and those who stayed with the baggage. 1 Samuel 30:24. But note that here the tax on the booty of the non-combatants is 10 times as much as that on the soldier's booty. And 31 verse 50, the precise nature and use of some of these articles of gold is not certain. That concludes the notes in the reading of Numbers chapter 31. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.